Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Got some Warzone solos here in Caldera. Once again, running the Cooper Carbine on an RPG. Dropped a good amount of kills this game. Just wanted to show this gameplay a little bit. A lot of interesting things here when it comes to rotations and positioning. End game gets a little wild. Tried some new things. Didn't quite work out how I wanted it, but still a lot of fun. Cooper Carbine's still pretty good. It's just not quite the powerhouse it used to be with the 250 health. I think the 300 health has kind of made it average as far as time to kill. It's still nice because of the versatility, and it's easy to use. So it's still, still a pretty good gun, but definitely not the powerhouse it used to be. That's kind of my evaluation of it. I don't know if people will agree. To me, it just doesn't do quite enough damage to really be top tier with 300 health. Still a ton of fun to use, still effective. I win a lot of my gunfights, but anyway, dropped in a little quieter location here, just trying to get some money and then see if I can get a UAV, go chase a couple of kills. It's kind of in the zone here. We pick up MG42, super nice off the ground, actually super nice in general. I'll make a video about that later. If you haven't tried it out, you ought to try it because it is extremely good. Caught this guy sleeping here. That Owen gun with the slate reflector is too hard to use. I don't know if it's just me. I think it's more of a console thing with the console FOV. Obviously, I'm on console 80 FOV. It's just visually super jarring. I hate it. So I pick up the well gun. Well gun's still insane after the nerf, in case anybody was wondering. See this guy walking in the water? That MG42 going. Missed a lot of shots there actually, but you can just see that it doesn't move. No recoil. Super fun to use. Probably one of my favorite guns off the ground right now. The well gun's nice. MG42's nice. The STG with the 60 round mags is pretty nice. MP40's still good. I just don't like the Owen gun as much with the slate reflector, but to each their own on that. Pick up this bounty here. Like I said, Cooper Carbine RPG. We'll share that Cooper loadout here shortly. Basically, my plan here with this bounty is to get in front of him. Obviously, he's going to have to rotate. Excuse me. I basically want to stay out of his line of sight and try to put myself in a position where he has to come to me. I do have a cluster. I also have the gas rounds, too, the Nebula 5. I don't know why I haven't loaded them in my gun yet, but I'm more worried about getting to a good spot to deal with this guy. I want that money. I do have a good amount right now, but I want a loadout and a UAV, so we're just trying to get the economy going here. And this guy, I think, is going to end up being an easy kill. He's not looking. I thought maybe he'd be peeking out. His threat should be orange. Or it should have been when I was up on that building. It might not be now, but I thought maybe he'd peek out and see if he could see me, but he did not. Just kind of waiting for him. I realized that his circle's moved. And he's really moving because now he's on my left. I'm lucky that he didn't kill me there. This guy's dropping in. I decided to deal with him first. Missed a lot of shots there. It's kind of hard to see him. Took care of that, and then I've got this other guy here. I'm actually on a nasty head glitch on the tractor, and man. So right there is where the Cooper Carbine is strong. That kind of mid-range gunfight there. Too far away for an SMG, but kind of close for an AR, and holy smokes, took him out. Now I've got a lot of money, so we're going to try to rotate to this buy. Only problem with Caldera is some of these rotations here, it's uphill, it's slow going. I think that's one of the main problems. There's just not enough in between some of these areas. I really don't know what more they could put in there. Honestly, I don't know if it would be more building oriented, or I really like the ruins that they did. I think that's pretty cool. But you can't just do that throughout the whole map. So I'm not sure what other kind of stuff you could do, but hopefully they figure it out. I see a guy in here. He's a pretty low skill player. He's crouch walking around. I don't want to expose my position. I thought maybe he'd come to me, but he's running away. So you can just see that mounted Cooper Carbine. It's just insane. So 5 kills there. Feeling pretty good. I like where I'm at. I feel like I'm in a good spot. I've been cleaning out my area pretty good. So hopefully we can kind of continue to play well. I'm rotating along the edge of zone to see if I can pick up anybody making a late rotation or just hanging out on the edge of zone. Some people like to do that. It can be nice because it eliminates a whole section of area that you can get shot from. But you can also do that while moving, just by moving with a purpose. Pop the UAV, nobody's near me. Kind of what I expected. So, gonna grab Ghost here. So high alert's gonna be gone. High alert's been nice on Caldera. It hasn't quite been as good as I thought it was gonna be. I don't find myself getting shot in the back as much as I used to in general, even without high alert. I think I've gotten better at kind of checking my surroundings and clearing areas. So high alert is really good in some situations, but overall there's probably a better perk in that tier to use. I just wanted to try it a little bit. It is nice though, there's no doubt about it, but I'm just not sure it's the end all be all. Right here I've got some high ground. I like being able to look onto those buildings down there. I figure that's where most of the players are going to be at this point. There's only, what, 23 left? So there's not a lot of people left. I didn't see anybody on the UAV near me. I figure there's probably 1 or 2 players ghosted up in this forest somewhere. Probably running some snipers, so just being careful. The nice thing about this area is there's highs and lows of the terrain, and this guy comes out of nowhere. And luckily, I was able to hit him with a drop shot and bail myself out. He was running a Swiss and a bullfrog. We probably just surprised each other. Odds are I didn't die because he probably had his Swiss out and he had to switch to his bullfrog. So that was a close one. But right there, once again, the Cooper Carbine's pretty decent at that close range, right? I just didn't get fried by that bullfrog. Odds are I was probably just a little bit outside of his first damage range. And that bullfrog, sometimes if you're not hitting center of mass, it feels like a marshmallow gun. I have a love-hate relationship with that gun. I've used it a little, and it seems like every so often I get a gunfight in there where I don't do any damage, and I get frustrated. And of course the Swiss is the Swiss. I hate it when people run the Swiss. This guy jumps down behind me. He's ghosted. Just pokes his head out. Barely beat him there. We were both in an interesting spot. What did he have there? Couldn't even tell. DP-27. DP-27's still good. They actually changed it up before it could get much better than it was. They adjusted the damage a little bit, which is good because that gun was insane. People didn't really realize it, but it was super forgiving. Mark down there, that's kind of where I want to rotate to. Being really careful because if anybody looks over here, I'm dead. I don't have a self-revive, so if I get sniped, that's it. I've got 7 kills, and I know that I've kind of cleared out my area, so I'm in a good position to actually potentially win this game. And I don't want to mess that up. Guy in a car saw me. He's going to come and try to chase me. And of course he comes flying around. But not sure what his plan was. I think he had a MAC-10 and a Cold War AK. I hit him with a little hip fire. That is the nice thing about this Cooper Carbine build that I have. I do have a couple attachments to help with hip fire. It's not the most accurate Cooper Carbine and the quickest. You could definitely switch out that Carver foregrip and that make the rear grip polymer, but I've got both of those like a SMG, so it helps with my hip fire. And right there, it kind of saved my bacon there, because he came around the corner with a Mac 10 looking to do damage, and he pulled up on me in a car. I hate it when people do that. It's like my biggest pet peeve. It's so annoying. So anyway, I'm just checking my surroundings. I'm right where I want to be. Find this little phone booth thing. That's not a phone booth. I don't know what it is. This guy's rotating.
Oh my god, you're lucky
I'm lucky that he was doing what? I don't know what he had, but he almost just ruined me. He had a STG. I should have lost that gunfight out. I missed a lot of shots. I'm not sure what happened, but it's alright. Still got plates, still got a gas mask. I got a guy on my left. There's, what, 9? No, 5 left. I've got 9 kills. There's 5 guys left. I'm figuring most people are probably up on that hill already rotated. I figure there's this guy here, and then in that other building across from me, there's going to be another one. For sure. Now there's 4 left. So, me and 3 others. So I'm going to make a gas play here. Those guys are dropping cluster strikes on each other over there. I'm glad I didn't try to rotate earlier. I lost him off heartbeat. There he is, rotating. I almost lost that gunfight too, man. Just strafing a little bit. And he looks like he has the Vargo. That's probably why I almost lost that gunfight. You can see that the Cooper Carbine's time to kill just isn't nearly as competitive as some of these other ones. It's just, it struggles a little bit against some of these higher power assault rifles. So, I just see this guy up here. I don't know how he didn't see me. I must have just been below his line of sight. Right here, I'm in a good spot. 1v1, I've got 11. Right here I should win the game, but I've got this the gas station, the personal decontamination station, so I wanted to use that. So I'm kind of screwing around here a little bit, so I set that up. I was hoping he would come over the edge, and he just never did. So I'm like, well, the gas has moved. I could have went up that direction, but I figured he'd see me. And so I wanted to stay under this cliff. Nothing on heartbeat, so this guy is probably ghosted. He's got to be getting close, and there he is. Destroys me, and what is it? It's an M4. So once again, the Cooper Carbine does not have the time to kill that the M4 does. And so I get absolutely obliterated, but that was a fun game. I actually had a lot of fun rotating around. Some of those gunfights were pretty interesting. Gave me a good feel for the Cooper Carbine. Like I said, it's not super good at range anymore. Still usable, but not great. But just want to share that with you guys. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys liked it. Stay tuned. I got more coming, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.